Hey guys, what's up? I think everything's correct, sound is okay. Okay, time to do some tactics. Tactics time. Learn puzzles. Okay, I'm ready. So I have more or less 1 hour. Then I have to teach a lesson. So I'm gonna do our 1 hour stream, 1 hour of tactics. Current rating is 2459. Let's see if we can achieve. Let's see if we can get closer to 2500. Okay, what do we have here? We have both kings very trapped, not only exposed but also trapped in the side of the board. Both kings under fire. So this king has no moves. This king has one move, but they're both in trouble. So I guess in this position, if we are not strong enough, we might even lose. Okay, so we have a check here, probably a very stupid one, because after king here, I think we ran out of checks. Because g5 would be met by queen takes g5 mate. So, what else? Hey Clash Kid, how you doing? We have another check, f5. I'm not sure what's the purpose of that check. If maybe open the king for further checks. Okay, that could be interesting. That could actually be interesting. The problem is queen f4 is going to be check itself. So, okay, maybe not so good. And it also has another problem. It enables future queen g7 mate. So let's see how this goes. f5 check. I assume he has to take because king here might allow checkmate on c1. So f5 he has to take. And then if we check here, I think queen f4 check has to be good for him, isn't it? Yeah. So after f5 and pawn takes, we should have a better move, but I don't think we have a better move. So maybe f5 is stupid after all. It was tempting though. Okay, what else do we have? Well, if we have a look at what's white's threats, I'm not sure what white's threat is. White has a check here, and probably a perpet after queen e5 check. But it's not such a big threat. So maybe we could consider moves like, slow moves that are not check, like rook h5. Don't know. Don't really understand the purpose of rook h5 anyway. First of all, it doesn't stop queen f4 check, where but yeah, after king g7 there's no queen e5, but there's queen f7, so yeah, probably also a stupid move. So let's see, there's not a lot of options. g5 doesn't work, So I only consider queen h3 and f5, I think. I cannot come up with a different move. I mean, queen f4 check is really annoying, because if we cannot play g5, then queen takes f7 is gonna follow. So now I'm really seeing white's threat. White's threat is checkmate, actually. Queen f4 check, king g7, queen takes f7 check, and mate. So yeah, that's a strong threat. So okay, let's go again with this forcing move. He has to take, and then what? Maybe then we can play g5 at some point, for example, after queen h3 check, king here, g5 check, sorry. And then the king has to go to e4 or e3, and we're gonna have rook e1 check, at least winning the queen. So yeah, that must work. That must work. Maybe we even have checkmate, but at least if we win the queen, that should be okay. Our queen still on h3, the pawn, this pawn is far from promoting, so I guess that has to be it. Check, g5 check, and rook e1 here. If there's nothing better, which I don't see. And now the obvious is to take the queen. Do I have any improvement to take it for free or checkmate him or something? I don't see any of those. Oh, but the puzzle still goes on, so okay, this is interesting. Give me a second, someone is sending me a lot of messages. What's going on here? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Just 1 second. Calendar. Okay. Okay. So here we're in check, so we have 3 legal moves, and we have to choose what is the best. I assume rook e6 is stupid, because even though we are already losing the rook, that helps his pawns to connect each other and be closer to promotion. So I think that helps his counterplay. However, it's hard to believe that that's bad anyway. Now king g7 makes a lot of sense. That would be my first guess. And king h5 seems to lose the queen after check. King h4, rook h6, so king h5 is out of the question. So the only real question is between these two moves. And I assume king g7 is the most normal one. So whenever he takes the rook on e5, I'm gonna have queen takes g3 check. And king g7, he has no perpetuals, no option to keep checking. So yeah, that was it. But it was interesting to see what happens here. I mean, I understand this helps his counterplay, but is it so dangerous? I guess it is, because e7 check is a threat. Okay, let's continue. 4 points, good. Okay, what do we have here? We have an interesting diagonal here. Also some kind of ping against f7 maybe. I don't know. We have a lot of pressure on f6, that's for sure. And then there might be some crisscross tactical motif here. So for example, bishop takes knight is probably a stupid move, but it's a forcing move, so I will need to consider, because I think it forces knight takes bishop. Maybe queen takes bishop is also possible, but pawn takes bishop is for sure not possible. Okay, maybe not the best move ever. Now, at some point it would be interesting to have some threat, you know, to use the remaining piece, the bishop on b1, to have some threat, but I don't quite see it. Unless we start with g6. Is this another idea? I don't believe it. Knight takes is perfectly fine. And then we can take with the bishop, you know, to force the h-pawn to go to g6, which would be the idea in the first place. But after rook h4 check, I don't see any particular problem for black. Rook h4 check, rook h7. Nah, king g8, and there's no problems. So yeah, g6, I don't believe it. Now, pawn takes pawn. Is that another forcing move? I mean, he can't probably take it, can he? But it's just a pawn. And the material count is not on our favor. We're actually a pawn down, so taking a free pawn is probably not the solution. I have the feeling this is a hard one for me. Pum, 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 pum. Okay, let's try to calculate rook takes f6. It's gonna take with the knight, I guess. No, yeah. The moment we take on f6 with the rook, any queen taking on e5 is going to be checked, so that's annoying as well. Okay, this is a hard one because I'm really tempted, you know, if this was a game, a blitz game, I would immediately play queen d4, for example, just keep improving the position, but I don't quite see a killing blow. I don't see a winning tactic here. Shumeric, hi. Queen d4, pawn takes pawn, knight takes pawn. What? Queen d4, pawn takes pawn, knight takes pawn. There's no knight that can take a pawn. Bishop b4, but I doubt it. Bishop b4. Oh, that's winning material. Okay, bishop b4 seems so simple. Yeah. After pawn takes pawn, knight d7 takes it. Oh, but you said queen d4, pawn takes pawn. You cannot do two moves in a row. It would be nice. However, your idea could work the other way around. Pawn takes pawn, and if knight takes pawn, then queen d4. But I don't think he's gonna take with the knight on f6. I think he will just stay. I mean, if pawn takes f6, just queen e6 or something, just move the queen and material is equal. So I don't think that should be winning. But bishop b4 on the other hand, bishop b4 is winning an exchange. And still keeps the pressure. What would black do against bishop b4? Queen has to move, let's say queen e6 to keep it around there. Bishop takes f8. I assume rook takes f8. And then we also removed a defender of f6 and the two defenders of h7. So we might even have some other ideas against h7. Yeah, okay, I don't want to spend a lot of time on this one. I think I'm gonna go for bishop b4. Bishop b4, queen e6. Okay, queen can go back also, but I don't see... Okay, maybe let's say queen e8, bishop f8, and maybe queen takes f8 there. Okay, that's another option. But we can take the pawn on f6 at some point, even there. So we're gonna be a full exchange up, I think. And the pawn on d5 is gonna be weak, and we have a good bishop. Light square bishop still putting pressure to his king, and our rooks are perfect for the attack. I'm gonna go for that. It's a pity because I wanted to use this diagonal, but I mean, yeah, simple as it is. And again, in this other line, I'm not sure if black can take this, but if black just sits and doesn't take it, material is equal. Okay, maybe it's too dangerous not to take it, but if black can manage to do it, and now he might have some counterplay. So okay, let's continue. Well spot, Clash Kid. Knight c4, okay, our queen is attacked, the e2 knight is hanging, so bishop takes knight is first move that comes to mind. The problem is knight takes b6 is going to attack our rook as well. So for example, bishop e2, knight b6, bishop d1, knight a8, bishop b3. Okay, we might have two pieces for a rook. Is that enough? Probably not. We start 2 pawns down, so probably we shouldn't even consider that. The problem is the knight on d3 is also hanging, but maybe that's not such a big deal because after queen takes knight, there's bishop takes e2. So okay, maybe just moving the queen. For example, queen c5, let's say. The idea being if he takes here bishop e2, and we're gonna have an exchange for the 2 pawns, which shouldn't be enough. Shouldn't be enough again. So it would be better if our queen makes an attack. Queen takes f2 is out of the question, isn't it? Our queen cannot defend our knight, right? Okay, maybe I need to calculate bishop e2 a little bit more. So bishop takes e2. He has to take our piece, our queen, sorry. If he doesn't, we're gonna be up on material. So bishop e2, if queen e2, we're gonna be a piece up, so he has to go knight takes b6. Grayson 004, thanks for the follow, mate. Hey Karmar, what's up? So bishop e2, knight b6. I'm assuming we take the queen. The queen has 2 squares, d2 and b1, so I'm assuming we don't take 2 pieces for the queen. Okay, so bishop e2, knight b6, bishop d1. So far so good. If he takes on d1, we take on b6. That's bad for us. We're still up on 2 knight b6. What am I thinking? We would be a piece up. We would be a piece up. I don't understand your lines, Clash Kid and Humeric. I think if queen c5, white would just take the knight on d3. I already said that. Queen c5, queen takes d3, bishop takes e2, queen moves somewhere, and we're gonna have an exchange for 2 pawns, which shouldn't be by any means enough. So bishop e2, knight b6, bishop d1, knight takes a8 is forced, and that's the question. In that position, with equal material in that moment, I mean 2 pawns down in that moment, we need to find a good move. The knight is almost trapped, but it's not trapped. So bishop takes b3 was my idea, and then after pawn takes, rook takes a8, we have a piece for 2 pawns, isn't it? Bishop e2, knight b6, bishop d1, knight a8, bishop b3. Ah, we have 2 pieces for 2 pawns. Okay then. Oof, I'm too slow today. I'm too slow today, guys. Oops. I said it right the first time I calculated the line. It was 2 pieces for a rook, which is not enough. Oh my. How is this good? Ah, I'm stupid. Bishop takes c4, I didn't see. Yeah, we're a piece up here for 2 pawns. Oh boy, I didn't see bishop takes c4. I didn't see we were attacking a piece there, not an exchange. Okay, my bad. My bad. Yeah, and this line that I wanted to play is just 2 pieces for... It's probably still a small advantage for black. Okay, there's knight c7 here, rook c8, probably better than this, but let's assume this. 2 pieces for rook and 2 pawns, this is not good. Anyway. Rook h e8. What do we have here? Well, the check on e3 is really tempting, because it seems that we're winning the queen the next move, and I don't see a way to avoid it, actually. So, is that simple? It seems that simple. There's nothing he can do. Okay. Well, now he's giving us a piece, but I prefer the queen. Full piece? I mean, we're a piece down, so it's out of the question to take the piece. King d6. Okay, we have a fork here. We're black. Strange position. We would love to promote this pawn. We have another fork here. Oh boy, this is tough. Yes, noon. Noon, Karmar. Noon. Not night. Tomorrow in the morning we're having here at the school a meeting, a club meeting, some classes, and our special guest is coming, and we're gonna stream from here. Okay, Humorius says b8, then take rook, then take a pawn on f2. b8, whatever that means. Whatever that means. Okay, you know, if I have to choose between one rook and the other, I prefer to take the one that is not defended. So maybe this is not so hard. Knight c8 check, king somewhere, some of the 5 legal moves. Maybe not on c6 to not allow check, and then knight takes a7, and that should be winning. That should be winning. Still complicated, but I guess I could win. On the other line, let's just consider it briefly. Knight f5 checking moves, knight takes, rook, pawn takes, rook takes f2. Now that feels like a draw to me. So yeah. Okay, now this is an important moment. We cannot allow rook takes before check, I think. So knight takes here, probably a mistake. Rook takes before check. So rook c2 check first. And if king goes here to keep the threat, knight takes a7 is going to be check. And then king here to keep the threat, we're going to be able to push the king out of the threat, like rook a2 check. Or, yeah, probably that has to be it, because knight c6 check in b5 is probably not good. Although the knight would be defended. No, it's not good. Okay. Oh, he doesn't even go there. Okay, so then I guess I just take the rook. Okay, good. So, yeah, I thought he would try this, because there's no checkmate around here right now. I don't see any checkmate, so I have to go here, and I thought he would try this, and then I have to do this. I think that's the only move, because this allows king b6, and this he repeats. So this, and then probably I go out or something. Okay, good. What if king would have gone b6? b6, where? Let's go back to the initial position. Okay, after this check, king cannot go to b6, so I'm assuming you say after this check, king b6, then I just goes out, probably here, to have this check. Okay, let's continue. Okay, here I want to kill that king, so pawn takes pawn threatening g6 check and queen h3 check. Seems very tempting. Very, very tempting. Actually, queen h3 is the strongest threat. Queen h3 leads to mate. So what's black's reply there? G6 doesn't work, because then queen h3, queen h6, or queen h8. What would black reply against pawn takes pawn? I mean, pawn takes pawn is so obvious that I don't expect the puzzle to be that simple. There must be something. Pawn takes pawn, black must have an idea there. I'm assuming queen takes g2 is not the idea. Will I play the warm-up? What warm-up? What do you mean? You just title Arena warm-up. Ah, in 30 minutes from now. No, I cannot. In 30 minutes from now I have to teach a lesson. So, no, I'm gonna do the tactics for another 30 minutes, and then I have to, yeah, I have to teach here in the school. But I didn't know there was a warm-up arena. I think I've played... Now I'm not sure, but I think I've played a warm-up arena once. Yeah, I think I did. Probably on the stream. I'm very bad with my memory. Okay, so h takes g5. What is black doing there? Bishop h5. So no, then g6. Ugh. Maybe black has to play rook a3. Rook a3. Yeah, rook a3. Of course, rook a3. Rook a3 is of course the move. And then okay, rook a3. Yeah. That's the critical move that I was overlooking. I'm dreaming of playing Dr. Drunkenstein in the first game and crashing him badly, and then I wake up. No, I mean, good dream could be to play against him in the first game, and crashing him is beyond dreaming, I think. But maybe him having connection issues, that could be possible. Yeah, he would play under a different account for sure. I think he would do that. Anyway, pawn takes pawn, rook a3. What are we going to do there? Okay, g6. g6, I'm not sure. Takes, and I'm running out of checks. I might have a good move there. Oh, it is already registered. Ah, okay. You don't know which stream to watch. I know I'm not gonna watch any. I think the previous one I was watching Akshat Chandra, or maybe that was a different tournament. Okay, rook a3. What about g6 check, and after bishop takes, queen e1? How's he gonna stop queen h4? You know which stream I was watching? Yeah, I know. Bishop f3. Bishop f3 would be a little bit illegal. Yeah, I think pawn takes... Yeah, let's go with this idea. Pawn takes pawn. And I'm thinking g6, bishop takes g6, queen e1. And I don't see a way to defend. I cannot go queen e1 now because pawn takes pawn covers, you know, protects h4, and also g6 is kind of free, so he might have some additional defensive ideas. But after g6 check, bishop takes and queen here, which was not the move. No. Okay, that was tempting, but it's not working. Why is he not working? Okay, let's take the piece then. Rook d3. Bishop h5. He had time to bishop h5 and queen e2. Maybe, yeah. Maybe that's right. I'm gonna have a look at that after I find the solution to this. Okay. This. Okay, what other moves can I do without losing my queen? Moves that are not stupid. I'm running out of moves. Oh boy. Didn't I try Queen E1? I thought I tried. Oh, I thought that was the first I tried. Okay, yeah, I forgot. I thought I was trying it. However, there's a lot of things that I don't understand about this puzzle yet. Okay, first let's understand this and see if this was enough. Yeah, I guess it is. Okay, that's enough. Now, why would this be the only move? I mean, what's our threat anyway? Or why is Queen E1 so important? I understand Queen G1, for example, is terrible because the bishop is pinned, but I don't know, Queen C1 defending this, or Rook D3 also defending that pawn? What was the problem? This is tough. Why is Queen E1 the only winning move here? There must be something. There must be something that I'm not seeing. What's our threat anyway? Let's say, for example, he takes here. What are we threatening with Queen E1? Maneuver into G4, maybe? That's too slow. This way, maybe? No way we go to G4. And I'm not even sure if going to G4 is that strong. I'm definitely missing stuff in this one. Okay, but let's move on. Let's move on. I have no time to understand that one. If I want to do tactics, I have 20 minutes left. 20 minutes left, so. Okay, there's a rook hanging on h8. There's a bishop hanging on f3. Well, hanging. The bishop just took a knight, I'm assuming. But queen takes h8 attacks the knight on g8. There's bishop h4 check, that could be annoying. But then after king d2, there's no way for black to sacrifice the bishop on f3 with check. So, okay, I guess we're a piece down. Yes, we are. So if we take the piece back, it would be a stupid puzzle. And I guess black's idea is precisely to seek for this check with this last move. So queen takes h8. If bishop h4, king d2. That's my first idea. Is it working? Okay, I think the first move has to be this, because otherwise this wouldn't be a puzzle. If if the recapture was the solution, this wouldn't be a puzzle, right? Now here I thought king d2. My reasoning is okay, thanks for the follow, get infinite C. My reasoning is if I go here, I allow bishop takes g2 check, and then queen g5 check, defending the knight. So just not allowing the check. So he still has two pieces hanging, and he can't take on g2 because then I would take both pieces. So let's go there. He tries this way, in this move order. Now two really tempting moves. One is rook takes h4, the other is to take this bishop. which is not so tempting after queen g2. Or maybe it is. So yeah, both of them are tempting. For example, pawn takes, queen g2 check, king c3, queen takes c3 check, bishop d3. Ah, there's bishop f6. Be careful with that. Oh. Okay, so I can never go here. So let's try the other. Rook takes h4. If he takes, I take knight and bishop. So I guess the only logical response would be queen takes g2 check, but now there's no bishop, so I can go here. Yeah, let's do that. Yay! Let's continue. Knight f4. I'd like to take it and open the file for some tricks. Maybe I can have some tricks on f7 as well. The bishop on c5 is not defended, but I don't know how to make use of it. Knight f5 is also tempting, because after pawn takes f4, I would probably have to go there, but then he can trade on e1 rooks with check. So why not starting with this one? Knight f5, and what does black do? I mean, if he has to go rook d7, that's not good for black, I mean. Another idea is to take on e5, because that way the knight on f4 would be hanging. But should I need to start with knight f5 or not? Maybe knight f5 actually is wrong, because rook d7 attacks d3 even more. Okay, I guess I have to do concrete calculation here. Why is rook d7 bad? No, I don't think it is bad. I'm not sure. I mean, from a positional point of view, the rook was doing something on e7. Going here would block this and defend this, sort of blocking the queen, and it's strange, but maybe it is a good move, because it puts, yeah, rook takes d3 is a big time threat after that, or even knight takes d3 with threats on f2. Actually, bishop takes f2, I didn't see it, but it might be a threat. Bishop f2 followed by knight takes d3 might be also a threat that we should be careful about. So maybe the solution is just knight e4, defending and attacking, and then knight takes c5, and then the knight is hanging on f4. That would be nah, unbelievable. No, that cannot be it. Okay, let's go for concrete calculation. Knight takes e5, which defends d3, so there's no trick yet. And if anything takes, well, if knight takes, we might have d4, or even bishop takes knight, probably d4 first. If he takes with the rook, we can trade rooks and then d4, or again bishop takes f4. Both of them seem correct. So knight takes e5 is really tempting. If I go knight f5 first, rook d7, and then knight takes e5, he can do knight takes e5, and if rook takes e5, rook takes d3, or even knight takes d3, or even bishop takes f2. Okay, so I'm gonna do it first. I'm not really sure, I didn't calculate everything, as you can tell. Yeah, and that's the reason I failed. Okay, and this was the other idea, and neither of those were good. So I guess d4 makes sense. Yeah, much easier. Yeah, it was actually a very simple exercise, this one. Too bad that I failed it. Yeah, not so high rated, so I lost 24 points. It's so simple. Okay, never mind, let's continue. Is this from the same game? Okay. Bishop takes h3. Well, I can take that. Bishop takes h3, pawn takes d3, pawn takes g3, bishop takes f4, and we're in trouble. I think that's the idea of black. But what if we take it with the knight? What's black's threat anyway? It's just a piece, right? Knight takes h3, we're a piece up. e5 is still a threat. Because if I start with e5, I guess pawn takes g3 could be potentially dangerous. Bishop g4 ideas. Or even after this, bishop g4 immediately and then pawn takes g3. Yeah, I think I prefer to take the piece. And after knight g4 check, king g1, pawn takes g3, pawn takes g3, bishop takes g3, rook f3 or something. Yeah, the h file is going to be opened. I think I cannot prevent the h file from being opened. Yeah, okay, I cannot prevent that. I cannot prevent the h file to be opened. So maybe knight takes h3 is also a problem. It's also problematic. Knight takes h3, pawn takes g3 check, pawn takes g3, knight g4 check, king back. But with the knight on g4, he has no attack against my pieces on h3. So if he wants to push my king back, so the king stops defending the piece on h3, then the queen cannot attack h3. So I'm gonna take the piece. And I failed the puzzle again. Okay guys, this is not my best day for doing tactics, because as you can tell, I cannot focus on calculating. I have no will to calculate today. Shouldn't be doing tactics. I'm just doing random moves. Okay, so I have 12 minutes left. I think I will, well, first I'm gonna try to solve this one, and then, seriously? Look at this. Okay, that was tricky. That was tricky. At least this was not so simple. Yeah, okay, I have 12 minutes, so I'm gonna try to make the effort to do one, to solve the next one. And that's gonna be it. I really need to get in the mood to calculate, especially if I'm going to teach a lesson about chess and games. So, okay, here there's a simple concept of trying to trap the knight. The knight is pinned for the moment, and I guess he has rook a5. I mean, after c4, of course, if he takes, we take the piece, although maybe he has a lot of pawns for the piece. So for example, c4, pawn takes c4, bishop c5, pawn takes b5, then we have to take with the rook. I guess we could still win that. But he has rook a5 here after c4. He doesn't have rook a3, but he has rook a5 with the idea of knight c6. So at that point we might need to play bishop b4, but then he has rook takes b5. I want to promote though. Okay, c4, okay, 5. There's another way to try to win the knight, which is bishop d6 to b8, but the problem of that one is it gives white extra options. Although maybe that's the way it works. Because after bishop d6, for example, if he goes to a3, we win a tempo, respecting the previous variation. And if he goes to a5, we might have bishop c7. Bishop c7, and then that should be good for us, because we're also defending not only our bishop but also the back rank. So rook takes b5 would be not good. So let's say there, rook a3, and we play b4. Rook a3, we play b4. So bishop d6, rook a5, bishop c7, rook a3, b4. That's we winning a piece. And if bishop here, rook a3, we might transpose with b4. Instead of playing c4, we might play b4 to try and transpose. Oh, he might have an additional defensive resource there, or not. Let's see. Rook a6, with the idea that after bishop b8, he could try something, but he cannot. Okay, he cannot try anything against our back rank because we're going to take with the bishop always on a7. So I think this should work. Bishop d6. The threat is bishop b8. Any knight jump loses the rook. And any stupid move. Oh, there's one. Yeah, one idea that does not work for white would be to play rook e1. And then bishop b8 would hang mate. But fortunately for us, rook takes knight is possible because after rook e8 check we have bishop back to f8. Hey Chescudo, what's up? So bishop d6, he can't play rook e1. If he plays any stupid move that has nothing to do with the theme, we win the knight. So rook here, bishop c7, rook takes b5, loses the knight. Rook a3, b4, and he's gonna lose the knight. Yeah. Yeah, I don't see a defense. I'm gonna go for that. No problem, Chescudo. I understand. I understand. It's a pity, but we can do it another day. Okay, good. And of course here, if he goes here, we have b4. So I have time for yet another one. Okay, let's do a final one. By the way, those people who are entering now the chat, tomorrow we'll be having on the stream a very special guest. So tomorrow at 12, I never know if this is AM or PM, I think it's PM, at 12 in the noon. Around that hour, we're gonna have a stream with a very special guest here. A young boy that is much stronger than me. Okay, knight f4, let's do this one. g5 is tempting. I mean, what's knight f4 even attacking? Okay, but we have some presence here, so rook h1 trick is there, maybe even immediately. It would be queen and pawn for rook and knight. A lot of pieces on the board. I think the material is equal, so it's probably a good trade for us. It's pretty good for us. Rook h1, takes, and then we can continue with g5 after all those trades. I don't see a reason not to go for rook h1. Get rid of knight on f4 and you can mate him. How can I mate him? I don't see that happening. First of all, the knight can block on h3 if necessary, and second, he has to do it so that the queen protects h5. Layman, thanks for the follow. Yeah, the queen is protecting h5, and after g5, knight h3, the queen is still protecting h5, and the knight is blocking. So maybe we can proceed with g4 then. So this could be interesting. I guess the only problem of this, I mean, this would be very tempting to go g5, g4, and then when the knight goes back, we do have queen h5. The only problem with that is anytime we attack the knight, he might take our knight on e4. So then we don't have this trick on f2. Infinite Flash Chess, thanks for the follow. So I think I'm gonna go for the rook h1 idea. I mean, we take a pawn and a queen. That's material. That's enough material. And then he has this, and we still have a good position. So my only concern is these passes are usually not as easy, but yeah, I guess maybe it's not so easy to assess this resulting position. I think it's pretty obvious, but okay. 2 more minutes. Okay, one more. Final one. I'm confusing. After g4, g5, knight back, he has knight takes queen after queen h5. Ah, yeah, if the knight goes to f4, yeah, you're right, it's good. Yeah, I said it wrong. e2 to e4, this is important, is e2 to e4, so we have the capture en passant. Anyway, I don't think, I mean, rook takes e4 is kind of tempting, but he has checks with the knight on f5, so he might give them, but it's the same. Yeah, it's the same if he gives the knight up. So rook takes e4 is tempting. Is it just trades, or are we fine after that? Where's the queen going? The queen has to go to e2 or e1. And we took a pawn and we might take on b2, well, not because he's gonna take back with the rook, but we might take on d5 next. So okay, rook takes e4, maybe, just maybe we end up being 2 pawns up, but maybe not, like I'm worried about this, so maybe we can't take here in the end of the line. What else do we have? Well, knight takes is a move. But okay, it's just a pawn, and maybe white has some moves. No, this is not a move, so... Okay, knight takes, white is not forced to do anything, so we just took a pawn. Okay, good enough. I guess white could maybe try to pile up and put pressure on d6. Okay, so that's another idea that is not very likely to be the answer. What else do we have? Well, maybe g4, f3 is another idea. Okay, taking en passant is stupid. No. Okay, g4, knight moves somewhere. We play f3, bishop goes to h1. Hooray, we killed a bishop. But then what? Then what? Then we don't even have, I mean, for example, if knight goes to h4, the f5 knight is reinforced, so we cannot take on f5, we cannot take on d5. So it's probably stupid. So my two ideas are rook takes e4 and knight takes d5. And I don't like any of those, but I don't have any other ideas. So let's try to go deeper on them. I think knight takes d5. I don't really like it because it's not forcing anything. We're not threatening anything. It's okay. We took a pawn, right? But we're opening also some diagonals that I don't like. And also this file. So for example, after knight takes d5, I think rook d1 is probably a good move. It is probably a good move. An annoying move. Because we might need to play bishop b7. And then he can take it. No, bishop b7 is the wrong move. So no, I don't really like knight takes d5. It gives a lot of options. He's not forced to do anything. And actually he has knight takes g7 as well. Yeah, no, that's stupid. Yeah, knight takes d5 is stupid. Okay, so let's go with our first idea. Rook takes e4. Maybe it's also not so forcing. For example, knight takes g7, king takes g7, and we only took a pawn. Actually, we're in trouble there. So after, wait. After rook e4, if knight takes g7, we need to play rook c4 or something. Yeah. So it cannot be that good. Is that important, that pawn? Because we only won a pawn. I like the outcome, I like the position, but not that much. Okay, guys, now I really do need to leave, so I better solve this fast. Okay, a line that I didn't consider at all was to take here first, but it's definitely a forcing line because it forces to take. If you take en passant and rook goes to e3, you take knight e5, then take e3 to check, take queen. Well, first of all, when I take on e3, it's not check. And second, if I could play 3 moves in a row, that would be nice, but I don't think I can. If I take en passant, he takes with the knight, let's suppose he does that. He's not forced to take with the knight. Is he? Well, maybe he is. Okay, then rook e3, pawn takes e3, knight takes d5. He's free to move and defend the only thing we're threatening, which is e3. For example, rook to e3 to e1 or Yeah, no, that cannot work. We already gave up material there. Okay, let's consider the most forcing line that I have at hand. Bishop f5, pawn f5. Do we have anything there? I don't like it, but maybe we have something there. G4, G5 first. G4, F3, you mean, Chescudo, I guess. Yeah, the problem is if the solution is luring the bishop to H1, then it's gonna be hard. Yeah, we're gonna have rook E2 and take the pawn B2. Okay, that seems strong, but for that to happen I need to remove the knight on F5 first. So maybe that's the idea. Remove the knight, then G4, then F3. I think I like that idea. And I have to leave, so... Okay, so far so good. Oh, didn't expect that. Nice! These aren't tactics often, these are exercises. Liches can be misleading. No, it's tactics. You have to calculate lines and assess the outcome. And this is from real games, so I like it. I like this kind of exercise. Sometimes some puzzles are harder to assess, like this one. That's why it's rated almost 2400, because you need to assess this position. And it's tactical. Once you see you're going to, you know, these pawns are all weak, so it's not so hard to assess this position. I'm just not being very focused today. Anyway, I have to prepare the classroom. I'll see you tomorrow, guys. Be here. It's gonna be nice. Bye bye.